Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday morning real estate marketing show with Ruthie Rocks, Ruth Allbrand, and I am Marketing Max. This is show number 485, right before the first day of spring, which is tomorrow. So be prepared. Summer is right around the corner, everybody, and we're still sizzling in a real estate market here in Las Vegas. Today, we actually have a returning guest, Mr. Jack Lindberg, who's going to talk to us and share some stories about some cybersecurity issues happening in the real estate market at this point. And now's the time when we're busy, we tend to sometimes take some shortcuts. And this is when the hackers and the people trying to extrapolate information and do some bad things start doing their work. But before we get to Jack, Ruth, what is happening in Las Vegas?
So Jack, I'm going to put you down in the lobby for a minute and bring our stats up on the screen, and I'm going to move you around a little bit here too. So here we go. So Max, happy spring. I mean, my goodness, this week we moved the time. We had St. Patrick's Day. It's spring. The Golden Knights are number one.
Yes,
the March
Madness. Some really good victories this week.
I know. I watched every one of them. March Madness is here. We went. Some places we're going 3 feet instead of 6 feet. McCarran is busy. I mean, wow. I mean, we are just starting this year off, this first quarter, with such a bang. And like you said, the market is sizzling here.
Yeah. Stimulus checks out this week. The stimulus checks were distributed this week too.
I didn't either.
Not.
So anyway, we listed 159 homes yesterday, and I am so happy to report that because we need listings. We are at 0.66 months of inventory. We closed 177 homes yesterday. We put 114 under contract, and we only have 2,561 homes available, which is the 0.66 months of inventory. But the good news is we continue to list homes. Sellers continue to realize this is the time to sell. This is the time for them to buy their next home, their dream home, downsize, upsize, whatever they want to do. You don't want to rent because your payment will be more than your mortgage. So there's a lot going on in this market. Right. And I keep telling the agents, don't take it for granted. Just embrace it. Get out there and get those sellers and get those buyers' offers accepted. Do your best, because you just never know. We've seen the ball drop before, and we're always worried that the market's going to shift. And when it shifts quickly. I mean, last year when COVID hit, we weren't selling 150 homes a day. We started declining, and for March, we went down to 116, and you're going to watch that slowly decline as I report the stats on, the month to dates going forward through June. You're going to be like, oh my God, so happy we're in the market we're in. And and so I had a great week this week teaching people about the new buyer's guide that has been created. And one of the most important pieces is the 3 reasons why we are not going to have a housing bubble. We are not going to have a housing bubble. And if you want to get that report, you can get that if you join the group at facebook.com/group/Ruthie Rocks. It's posted up there along with some other of the tips and that we discussed in the buyer's guide this week. And good morning, Leslie. Good to see your shining, beautiful face. Thank you for joining us.
Morning, Leslie.
So everybody, if you want to know why we're not going to have a housing bubble, just go to Ruthie Rocks, the group on Facebook. And it's not just that. You'll find tons of information. I post every day information for realtors and for their clients. And so whether you're a real estate agent or someone who's looking to buy, sell, or invest, it's a great place to get information and stay current. So we're going to talk today about cybersecurity. And Max, I just want to tell everybody that we are having an ethics class on Thursday from 10 to 1, and it is cybersecurity. And Jack Lindberg, our guest today, has created and developed one of the best classes out there. And believe me, I was telling him earlier, I have been reviewing a lot of the classes that are out there on the internet about cybersecurity. and none of them really relate to real estate. They're mostly boring. The people that are teaching them put you to sleep,
Yes.
and they don't have real life experience like Jack does. So let's
Mhm.
bring him on, and I want to get on with Jack. Let's see if I can get him on the right side of the screen. Yeah, I
Three,
did it.
2, 1.
There you go.
Yay, I did it. I did it. The other thing I just forgot to mention, everybody, McCarran Airport is so busy. And everybody down on the strip that I'm talking to is saying, oh my gosh, people are coming back. They have had such pent up, I don't know if it's Las Vegas fever, gambling fever, gourmet food fever, but they're back. And I'm just looking forward for that check mark recovery.
Yeah. No doubt.
Showgirl fever.
Showgirl fever.
Right.
Good one.
Yeah. I was at Santa Fe Station last night playing a little poker, and it was packed. I mean, I've never seen it that busy in a long time. And the entire casino floor actually was open.
Red Rock?
Actually Santa Fe Station,
Santa
which
Fe?
is, I can't assume. I mean, Red Rock was probably even busier.
We
'cause if
couldn't get
Santa Fe
reservations
Station
for
is-
dinner anywhere. Yeah.
So
Wow.
it is. It's coming back for sure. Go ahead, Jack. You were gonna say?
I'm deciding. I actually went with a friend to the Miller's Pub in Sun City Anthem. Sorry, Sun City Summerlin.
Mhm.
They've got a great live music set up there, and they got some gambling in there, so it was hopping there too, and hopping
Yeah.
with a lot of older people, which is great to see. They're not afraid to get out.
Right. Vaccines are rolled out now. I think most seniors, for the most part, are 2 vaccines in right now.
I think so.
Yeah. So, no, it's exciting. So, Jack, welcome back. Thanks for coming back on the show here.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, you teased me in the beginning before we started the show with some stories here. So, I'm curious. Let's start with those first, and what's happening in the real estate kind of security world right now.
Oh, I can tell you just practical kind of stuff that happens. I'm sitting in an office yesterday where this typical real estate office has several computers lined up for the agents to use. And what we would classify that as public computers. And so how do you treat what's your behavior on public computers? Now, you can think of a public computer like a computer at the library, right? And who would be crazy enough to log into their email at the library in the first place? But even if they did, who would be crazier yet to leave and not log out? And
Right.
yet in these office computers, it's all the time. So I see this guy who works in the workroom all the time. He doesn't have his own computer. He uses the company computer. And he's sitting on one computer, and I sit down on the other, and he asks me, he says, yeah, I put this icon so I can click and get quicker into my email. So I click on the icon. Not only did it automatically log me into his email, but immediately I saw a client's name and social security number in the email.
Wow.
I looked at him, I said, if I were a commissioner, I would yank your license here on the spot. What are you doing? What are you doing? So it has to do with knowing what to do. When you're on a public computer, if you're going to log into websites, you have to remember to physically log out of each website that you've logged into, because these websites like to remember for a while. I design websites sometimes, and when I do, if they have a login, there's a timer you can set. You can say, oh yeah, leave them logged in for 60 seconds
Yep.
or 2 years. And it really depends on the website. And so, you can close the browser and come right back in. And if it's that website and that timer hasn't expired yet, you're still logging in. And he's like, well, how does that work? And I said, well, that's one way. The other is he was saving his passwords. And so I would go to settings in the browser. Chrome has the 3 dots. You click settings down on the 3 dots thing, and you go to passwords, and there's a list, and you click the eyeball, and hey, look at, I can see everybody's password. And it wasn't just him saving passwords on this public computer. So
Wow.
the point in the lesson here is you have to really be careful on public computers. What's your experience, Ruth?
Oh, my experience is that I have known about cybersecurity since 1988 and have remained cyber secure as much as possible. And I see where agents, we set up a cyber secure server. We have a cyber secure website system, and agents were like reluctant to use it. So then they went out and got Gmail accounts and got hacked, right? I mean, my friend ended up coming up with $80,000 because of wire fraud. And it really happens. And this year, 2021, we're scheduled to have cybersecurity costs escalate to $6 trillion.
Wow.
That's just unnecessary. And in our industry, if a broker does not,
You know what? Cancel the class. I'm going on the criminal side.
but well, if a broker does not provide the proper direction for real estate agents, they can be cited for negligence to supervise, and the agent can be suspended for negligence to secure their consumers' information. So it is a big deal, and it doesn't sound like it. It's like, you don't worry about COVID till you get it, right?
Yeah. But I personally know people that have had their licenses suspended, and it'll become more and more common, especially since you and I pioneered this course to get it approved for the new risk management credits that are coming up for people that renew after October. Yes. That's a new area you're going to have credits in, and this is going to be, I'm resubmitting the class, we are, as risk management credits, so that
yes,
it'll probably be one of the first courses in that category, and it's ethics right now, which is a good credits to get, yeah. But it's going to be a required subject, and as part of us getting to that point, we've had to educate the commissioners.
Yes.
And so you end up in front of the commission, they're going to know better. They're going to know, hey, it's not like Mark Zuckerberg sitting in front of the Senate, where the senator's like on the back of an envelope, like, hold on, my intern wrote down something. Let me see if I can read it.
Right.
It's not
How are you offering Facebook for free, Mark? We sell advertisement.
Well, no,
it was pretty painful.
No, it was his robotic way. He goes, Senator, we offer advertising. I love the way every time he said anything, it started with Senator or such a robot.
There should be more. I'm surprised there weren't any more memes on that Facebook hearing, because it was.
Yeah, I know, like replacing his face with data or something.
Right. Yeah. Anyways, we digress. Back to security.
Well, the other thing with Facebook, as you bring that up, is that we talk about in the class, we talk about uses of Facebook and how to better use Facebook and be safer, because there's so many things you put on Facebook that just give away clues to the criminals who know what they're doing. Example 2 is, hey, what's the last 4 of your social? Well, those are the most important 4 digits of your social.
Right?
Because the first 3, you can, if I know what state you grew up in, I can find the first probably within a range anyway. And so, giving away the last 4. And what's funny is, I haven't stressed it as much as I should in the class, but I ran across a LinkedIn course about cybersecurity, and one of the modules that they let me watch for free to try to get me to buy the course was on why you shouldn't give away the last 4 of your social so easily, right? And I thought, wow, I got to stress that more, because it's such a common thing we all do or have been doing in the past.
Can I interject something, Jack?
Yep.
So a year ago, I went to do my mammogram in California, and on the form, you got to give your history, and now I've been going to these same doctors since 1990. Same radiology place. They say, I need the last 4 digits of your social security number. I said, no, you don't. And they looked at me like I just shot them. And I said, you don't need it. You have my Medicare card, which used to have your social security number on it, but now they've changed to a different number because of theft identity. And I said, you're giving me a mammogram, I'm paying for it, and I'm not giving you my social security number. And they, of course, now I was the bad guy in that nobody smiled at me the rest of the day, but because I was like a rebel. I don't know.
Right. They need to get educated. I mean, you are not required by law or anything like that to give your social security to a doctor's office, even on the form, right? The reason why they collect that numbers is if you default on your payment and they want to go after you for collection purposes, right? So, I mean, they can refuse service to you. That's their right, but
right.
you're not required to give it to them.
Well, you know, it's similar to that story back in the turn of the century, we'll call it. You know, the late 1990s.
Before the internet.
Well, no, this was right as things were coming around.
Right as Al Gore was inventing the internet here in 1990.
Yeah, we would get receipts when we give our credit card to a restaurant. We get a receipt and they'd have everything, the full number,
the full credit card number on there.
And I'm like, what do you? I would scratch out everything but the last 4 digits, and they go, well, we can't use that now. I'm like, well, that's your problem. I'm not giving you an entire thing unless you can explain to me who has access to it. Blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Blah, blah.
Yeah. Some 16-year-old waiter in the background, just throwing it in the trash. It's incredible how far we've come. I mean, just on some of the, I remember that. I remember looking at a credit card statement for the first time, or the receipt on like a restaurant. And you're like, oh my goodness, the whole credit card number is like on the receipt. Like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
So we've taken small steps forward still.
Yeah, but you know, bottom line is we're learning more and more how important it is to protect. I mean, you might take it for granted. You open up your wallet and there's a credit card numbers right there. It's like, yeah, it's not very protected here, but it's a lot more protected than on the receipt or whatever. So,
I just thought about an idea here, Jack. Yeah, that you can circulate around your circles. I'm the idea guy, which is why don't they do like to verify IDs, much like they do like VPN cards? You know what I'm saying, for computers, where there's a rotating number, right? So every standardized, all financial institutions go on this kind of like service. And when the people verify, they go into whatever software, and then that person is linked, but that number is rotating all the time, much like the VPNs that they do on computers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I mean, that would be an easy way to kind of mitigate a lot of the fraud that happens in the access here. So, but to get 10 different or 20, 30, 40 different banks to all work together and financial institutions to agree on something, that might be a little bit difficult.
Well, Ruth, do you remember when the MLS, to log in the MLS, you had that little fob thing that you'd carry around? Did they ever have that in this market? And it would always have a changing number, and you would use that number to log in for that moment or whatever?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's
my bank uses that.
Yeah, there's a lot of education that goes along with that. That's the key, is educating the public, which is obviously what we're trying to do here, especially licensees. I think licensees take it for granted, the kind of information that they just, like I said, I opened up that guy's email on a public computer, and there's a social security number sitting right there, which I know is not that common. The chances of that happening when I happen to open up his email at that moment were funny, but still, it demonstrated perfectly why you have to protect that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's just the history of the crime, when I was relating to, I mean, back in the 80s, IBM was concerned about security. And then in the 90s, there was a national crackdown on the cyber criminals with Microsoft's NT operating system when it was pierced. And then in 2007, the bank hit by the biggest ever hack. The Swedish bank Nordea recorded nearly $1 million had been stolen in 3 months from 250 accounts. And, in 2016, I mean, there's been just a myriad of things that, let me see if I can't get rid of that real quick. Nope.
Jack, I don't know if you remember, but remember the I Love You virus in like 2001? Man, that was like the largest virus that spread so quickly.
Yeah, and actually, 10 years ago, there was that Wanna Cry one, which they locked up your computer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Well, in 2016, there were 758 million malicious attacks that occurred. I mean, and this stuff just goes on and on and on. And there was another thing I was going to show everybody here. When Ethereum was attacked, the cryptocurrency. I mean, and thousands of accounts were hacked, and Ethereum got a really bad rap. So, it's there, and people just need to believe it.
Well,
it's there and it's staying.
Yeah, of course, definitely. There was a book. What's the book I have? It's an audio book, but it's called Future Crimes, and it was actually written back in 2015, 2016. But a lot of it's still relevant now because a lot of people haven't even caught up with it. But it talks about all the different things that criminals are doing. Some of the significant things are things like drug cartels. are using the money they've made to get into cybercrime because the penalties are so much less. You know, you get caught with a bag full of drugs and money, you're in jail for a long time. But cybercrime, you know, maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
Jack, I can't even find the criminal. I mean, we were.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one of our employees at home had been attacked, and they said, if you don't pay us $750, we're going to wipe your computer clean. Right. And we've talked about this in class. And so what are you going to do? You're going to give them the $750 or you're going to lose all your data. But what happens is if you pay it, they come back and do it again.
Yeah. Well, here, and we talk in the class, we're going to cover a lot of the ways that they get into you that way, using email tricks and, you know, different spam attempts and things like that. So we're going to talk about some of the methods they use and how to spot them so you can avoid a lot more of them.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I love about the class, excuse me, Max, the thing I love about the class is we teach them 4 main things and we give them solutions to the 4 main cyber crimes that there are. And that to me is, and everybody loves the class because they walk out of there saying, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And they're scared enough that they start doing the things we tell them to do.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Absolutely. Our last class we had, I looked at the list. All but 2, we had 40-some people in the class, you know, Zoom and live, and all but 2 had either Gmail or Yahoo.
I know.
And that's one of the things we talk about is as a licensee, in the very near future, if you're caught using a Gmail, you're going to get in trouble. Just using Gmail.
Yeah.
You know, as your professional address. Right. Although if you have a Gmail and you're used to using the system, we're going to show you a solution as to how you can still use Gmail, but do it in the proper and professional way.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the class is amazing.
Yeah. The hackers are getting better and better, you know, with the email, like the phishing emails. I mean, some of them look pretty legit. Like they're doing like Amazon, you know, like they're spoofing Amazon emails like, oh, to accept your delivery, press here, or, you know, your delivery was delayed, you know, find out where it is. I mean, I've seen some really good ones. I should save them because I was like, wow, this is really good.
So now, Max, there's phishing, there's spear fishing, and there's whale fishing.
Right.
Okay, because they have increased their abilities to get into your email. I mean, it's amazing. Just like, you know, Jack said earlier, it's just amazing. But now there's whale fishing. I thought, wow, first of all, I had a hard time understanding what fishing was when it wasn't spelled right. That's what somebody told us. And now there's spear fishing, and then there's whale fishing. So, you know, this is just going to continue. And as fast as we come up with solutions, they come up with another way to get into us.
You know, it's the age-old problem. I mean, we had Detective Grace from Las Vegas Cyber Crime Task Force helping us as well in terms of the content for this class. And, you know, he gets paid a salary, and it's a job for him. The criminals make as much as they can make. I mean, I just heard of one not long ago. A broker was telling me about a client that gave away $800,000 on a wire transfer thing. And so, you know, these criminals can make $800,000 in one deal. These poor police officers are getting paid. Maybe if he's a pretty high grade detective, he's probably making $100,000, but still, you know. He also told me that his workload is so heavy. He said, first of all, real estate is a majority of his work. And he said his workload's so heavy that he can't even look at cases under $100,000.
He told us we're not doing a very good job.
Yeah, you're teaching cybersecurity to realtors?
You're not
do something more. Yeah, the poor guy needs help. He needs help for sure.
Yeah, we need to have 1,000 students under our belt, and I think we probably have about 400 right now. So we got we'll do it by the end of the year.
Well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, we've got 15,000 members of this board, so.
Wow.
And I'm hoping I hope the mortgage side is doing the same thing and focusing a lot on cybersecurity too, because I mean that's where a lot of the information is stored as well. And I remember just 4 years ago, there was not a lot of training not a lot of focus from the broker side, on the mortgage side, teaching people about cybersecurity and what to look for. And they still requested clients to send documents through email, right? I mean, every mortgage company needs to set up their own secure website for people to upload, directly to their website, not through email, like because.
Well, Max, most of the mortgage companies have done that. I will have to tell you that in our industry, I think the mortgage part of it is the most secure, don't you think, Jack? Because you have to use a special computer that they give you, and you can't use anything else on that computer. And it's like our system here. It's a special server. People that come in this building and use our server, the chances of them getting hacked are almost zero. The chances of
I'm looking up at my
the chances of somebody getting hacked in putting in a mortgage application is pretty slim now. They have stepped up to the game better than we have as realtors.
Well, and I talk about that in the class.
They have that.
Sorry, I talk about that in the class as well, about how it started with the title companies, because the title companies obviously have everybody's information ready to close and all that. Yeah. They're the ones that are handling the money for wire transfers and all of that. Yeah. So it started there, and then the mortgage companies got hit. But those guys they're set up as like corporations and companies with employees. So they would just tell all their employees, hey, we're going to take a bunch of training, we're going to get better, and we're going to give you resources and computers and things you need to stop this. In the real estate world, every realtor, every broker is kind of on their own, So, you have to learn on your own how to protect yourself. You have to pay for your own computer, your own security software and all the other things that you have to do, and your own classes. So it's a lot harder to get. It's like herding cats in the real estate industry, really.
Yeah, it is. It is. And a lot of, the thing too is what I find is the typical realtor understands how to use the MLS system. They understand how to do email. But when it comes to other things outside of those few, and some know Word, some know Excel, but they really don't think like a computer because they're salespeople. That's not their wheelhouse. And so I think we're really doing a great service, Jack, by training them on the steps to take to be cyber secure, because that's not how they think.
Well, and I have to admit, without trying to sound like I'm tooting my own horn in a way, but I do hear consistently the feedback from this class is that, it's great. The way you explain things is easy to understand and immediately implementable, if that's a word.
Yeah, it's okay. I like it.
Yeah.
It's executable, implement, actionable.
It's like watching March Madness. We're going to be hearing that word physicality again, and I swear that's not a word. But anyway,
right? Yeah, any one of the 5-syllable words that Jim Rohn uses on Sportscast. No, that's good. I mean, it's well needed because, like you said, I mean, one mistake could really cost your entire career and your livelihood, financial life. I mean, you can get sued. Personally and things like that. And when you're dealing with hundreds of thousands, of dollars, I mean, it's not a thing that you should overlook. And as we go more and more towards this digital age, which, we've been on for the last 20 years here. And like I said, during busy times, this is the most diligent time that you need to pay attention a little bit more because, the guys looking to do harm here are depending on you making mistakes during some, busy times. And this is one of them right now. So.
I don't know how many people listening have watched the movie or the series of movies, Lord of the Rings. But that movie, there's that eye, that all-seeing fiery eye. That you don't want it to look at you, right? Every time it looks at Frodo, he dives to the ground or whatever.
Right.
Well, that's what happened to the real estate industry in 2017. 2016, cyber wire transfer fraud was like $19 million in the industry. In 2017, it was $969 million. It jumped by almost $1 billion. So it's like the eyes of the criminal world turned to real estate and said, hey, look we have an opportunity with a bunch of dummies over here. So we have to fix that. We have to educate these guys because to the criminals, we're not very techie, to these cyber criminals out there. So we need to, as an industry, get better at protecting ourselves. And that's one thing that's really a concern is we're now the focus of the criminal industry out there.
Right. Well, obviously, because this industry is ripe for the picking. A lot of money, a lot of transactions, so many transactions happening all the time in large amounts, and we got to field the people who are not quite necessarily up to date and educated about all the different nuances of information and keeping it private and secure. So I mean, yeah, like you said, all but 2 people using their own email, and everybody else using Google or Yahoo, right?
Well, so
I mean, that's.
And so we're going to talk too about Facebook and how just everybody makes such common mistakes in Facebook that are cherry picks for a criminal. So
give us some of the examples here, Jack.
Well, one of the easiest ones is I talk about not making yourself a target. So there's agents out there. I can go to Facebook probably right now, type into the search bar once I'm in my Facebook account, which could be a fake one, by the way. I could be in, Gambia somewhere and pretending I'm somebody else, and I type in cash buyer, and I type in cash buyer in the search box, and then there's all these realtors posts. Hey, I have a cash buyer, $500,000 looking in this neighborhood. It's like, I think as a criminal, I'm going to follow that agent around for a while and see if I can get in between when that money needs to be sent and see if I can intercept that money. And that's how it happens. Number one is you make people see you, and that fiery eye looks at you and says, "Hey, there's some money I want to take."
Yeah,
so
and they know,
something we talk about.
And they know your email address 9 times out of 10 because it's everywhere because you're a real estate agent, so they can fish your email. So, and then they can get the client's information, and that's where the division can step in and say, "You're not taking care of your client. You're not, the information, the duty zone says that you have a duty to the client to keep their information confidential. And if you're not doing that, you're breaking one of the biggest items that the division is going after people for, and that is the duties owed."
Yeah, exactly. It's at the NAR ethics. It's part of the NAR ethics, and it's part of the state law, both situations. So.
Yep. Well, Jack, go ahead, Max.
No, so one of the questions I have for you, Jack, we want to leave this show with some actionable items and executable and implementable items here, to use your words. I mean, what are immediately 1 or 2 things, if they can't make the class this week, which, you should, set some time, and Ruth's going to have you back probably the course here, as a cycle here, but if they can't make it, but they can do 1 or 2 things that can, exponentially help them get more secure, what would you tell them that would be right now?
Ruth, give them one.
Well, I'm going to give them one, but it's a hook.
Okay.
You need to set up your own VPN, and it costs less than $1 a month. And that way you really, what percentage are you becoming unhackable at that point, Jack, if you set up your own VPN?
Well, that would probably depend.
Don't tell us too much. Just tell me the percentage.
No, I'm just saying that would probably depend on your business practice, right? But I would think that's probably 25% of your overall protection. I would think the biggest chunk, and thank you for leaving me what I would call number 1, is the obvious one: the passwords. Most people's passwords suck, and we're going to talk about why they suck, how they're so easy to hack, and what to do. Because one of the biggest challenges people go through is you need to really have a different password on every website you use. But that means hundreds of different passwords. So how the heck do you manage that? So the hook here is we're going to tell you exactly how.
Exactly. Good one, Jack. That was really good. That was really good.
Yeah.
I learned quickly.
Really
do not use your first and last name with a number behind it.
or don't use the password 1, That's
right. Exactly right. And don't use your social security number either.
Or your birthday.
Right. If you get hacked and someone discovers that, now they just got everything.
Yeah.
But I can remember it.
Right.
So well, okay, there's a price to pay.
So can everyone else, yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. So our class is on the 25th, which is Thursday, and it's from 10 to 1. It's cybersecurity. You get 3 CE credits for ethics, which everybody needs core right now 12, and next year you're going to need twice that. So cybersecurity is something that is not boring. I know, you go to a law class sometimes like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep. However, cybersecurity is not a boring class. Jack is fantastic. We work together, and normally we fill up the classroom. Now we can even fill it up more, because we can be 3 feet apart, which basically we can fill up the classroom. And then you can Zoom. We Zoom, so you can Zoom from the comfort of your home. If you come to class, you get to interact with people, and you get a free lunch, and it's only $25, and it gets a credit for your CyPro security designation. There's no reason why you shouldn't take this class either from the comfort of your home or come to the classroom, which is at 8400 West Sahara. And you can go to bee.vegas to sign up. And Jack, any parting words?
I was going to say, just the best value in real estate education today.
Absolutely.
And Jack makes it interesting. If you haven't garnered anything from his personality today, he makes it a little fun. So, because I can tell you, I'm from an IT background, and some of the IT, cybersecurity, all this training that's been out there, it's very dry,
very dry, very boring. So, yeah, right. And they don't give. And Max, they don't give you live examples of things, and Jack just brings that right into the class. So I love that. And just to if you need contracts, we're going to do a contracts class on Friday with Jimmy Dague. Jimmy Dague and I will be teaching contracts. And in today's world, we need to write a purchase contract to get the deal done, to get our offer accepted. And so there's some strategies to that. We're gonna give you 5 strategies, which you're gonna love, and you're gonna get 3 CE core credits for contracts, and that's 10-1. 8400 West Sahara or be.vegas, same deal, free lunch if you come to the class, or you can Zoom from the comfort of your home, and it's only $18. So, and then if you need law, we're going to do a law class on Monday the 29th from 10-1. Same deal. Come to class, get a free lunch. It's $18, or Zoom from the comfort of your home. And we are all over continuing education here at Be Social Savvy Training Center. And with the upcoming increase in hours, we are going to up our game when it comes to classes. So if you like Jack, you like me, you like Jimmy Dague, and you don't fall asleep, just come on in, right?
You're sick of being at home, come on down to the training center. So,
all right,
everybody. Happy spring tomorrow. All right, and tune in tomorrow morning for Ruth at 9 a.m. And then we'll see you next week for the marketing show on Saturday. Thanks, Jack, for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Love
for
everybody.
having me.
Bye.
Have a good day, everybody.